The total of infected people emerging from the Minuwangoda COVID-19 cluster increased to 2,222, with the 60 new cases being confirmed today. Out of those 60, 35 are employees of garment factories in the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone, and the other 25 are their associates. Accordingly, the number of infections confirmed from the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone has increased to 303.
PCR, we have 24 centers. Total number of PCR tests performed 398,196 this year. We have a number of treatment centers. We have 21 treatment centers at present, and number of people quarantined in quarantine centers 7,295. Except Minuwangoda cluster, it is 1,865, and Minuwangoda cluster 5,429. I would require unconditional support from public to curtail the spread of COVID-19 further. So please adhere to the DREAM concept, that is D for distancing, RE for respiratory etiquette, A for aseptic techniques, hand washing, and M for wearing mask. Also, 3 C's are important: avoid crowding, avoid close contacts, and avoid close spaces. So we have to stay with much ventilated space.
Health officials of the Colombo Municipal Council meanwhile say that 20 infected persons have been identified within the Colombo Municipal Council area since the emergence of the Minuwangoda apparel factory cluster. 5 of them were reported from 4th Cross Street in Peta.
සමාජගත වෙලා කියලා අපි කියන්නේ තනින් තනින් එක එක මතුවෙන්නට පටන් ගත්තොත් එවැනි තත්වයක් තවමත් අපි කොළඹ නගරය තුල දකින්නේ නැහැ.
දැන් මේකට මැනින් වෙළඳපොළ දිගින් දිගටම අපි දකිනවා යම් ආසාදිතයන් හමු වෙනවා. මැනින් වෙළඳපොළේ එක් සේවකයෙක්ගේ බිරිඳක්ට වෛද්‍ය ආසාදනය වී ඇති බව PCR පරීක්ෂණයෙන් තහවුරු බවට පැතිර ගිය කටකතාවක් නිසා ඒ ගුදම සහ කඩවල් 23ක් ඒ ප්‍රදේශයේ පිටලා තියෙන ඔවුන්ගේ PCR පරීක්ෂණ සිදු කරනු ලැබුවා. නමුත් අපිට කිසිදු හෝ
Also in Colombo, an employee of the World Trade Center has tested positive. He is employed at a private company located on the 32nd floor of the West Tower, and the staff members who came into contact with the infected person will be subjected to PCR tests. Elsewhere in Colombo, police stated that an inspector of the Western Province Special Investigation Unit located in Colombo Fort has also been infected with the virus. 11 of his contacts were placed under quarantine and are scheduled to undergo PCR tests.
ඊයේ දිනේදීම මෙම රෝගීන් අපි වැඩිදුර ප්‍රතිකාර සඳහා IDH ඔකට යොමු කරා. තොරතුරු සොයාගෙන යාමේදී පියාත් කොරෝනා ආසාදනයට ලක් කළ ඇති බවට අපට සනාථ කරගන්න ලැබුණා. ඒ වගේම පියා බොරැල ආසන්නයේම පෞද්ගලික ඝාතනයක සේවය කරන පුජ්‍යලෙක්.
With the detection of 6 fresh cases, infections confirmed from the Colombo Dockyard, which is another subcluster of the Minuwangoda apparel factory, rose to 18 today. They are identified as residents of Ragama, Matugama, Vennapur, Gaul, Nigambo, Matara as well as Mulatiyana. Meanwhile, an employee of the Colombo Dockyard residing in the area of Pahatagama in Hangwalla, who had been subjected to self-quarantine, has been diagnosed with the virus. As per Public Health Inspector of Hangwalla, steps were taken last night to refer the infected person to the Infectious Diseases Hospital. Several shops he frequented located in the Pahatgama area were temporarily shut, and its employees were placed under quarantine. The family members of the infected were also quarantined. In the meantime, another employee of the Colombo Dockyard residing in Kudamaduwa of Polgas Ovita has contracted COVID-19. He was subjected to a PCR test due to a co-worker being confirmed to have travelled in the Matugama Colombo bus, where a number of infections were detected. The results of the test returned positive. In Beruwala, a 47-year-old man attached to a number of small-scale garment factories in Maggona has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Currently, 47 of his associates are quarantined. In another development, a 2-year-old girl who is receiving treatment at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo and her mother have also been infected with the coronavirus. Meanwhile, with 14 new cases from the MOH division in Kuliyapitiya being identified yesterday, the number of infected persons emerging from the division has increased to 25. In such a backdrop, the Department of Government Information announced the imposition of a curfew in the police areas of Kuliyapitiya, Pannala, Giriyulla, Narammala and Dummala Surya until further notice. Accordingly, quarantine curfew under the regulations of the Quarantine and Prevention of Diseases Ordinance has been imposed in 24 police areas of the country. What's more, the government has decided to allow shops with essential food items and pharmacies which are located in the curfew-imposed areas within the Gampaha district to operate during the day today. Accordingly, the shops are permitted to remain open until 10 a.m.
මෙම ඇඳරින් නීතිය නැවත දන්වනතුරු බලාපොරොත්තු වන ආකාරයට තමයි පනවලා තිබෙන්නේ. ඒත් එක්කම අද දිනේදී මීට ප්‍රථම නිරෝධායන ඇඳරින් නීතිය යොදවා තිබූ ගම්පහ දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ නිරෝධායන ඇඳරින් නීතිය යොදවා තිබුණු පොලිස් බල ප්‍රදේශවල සිටින මහ ජනතාවට ඔවුන්ගේ අත්‍යවශ්‍ය භාණ්ඩ සහ බෙහෙත් ද්‍රව්‍ය ලබා ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් අද උදෑසන 8 සිට රාත්‍රී 10 වනතුරු ඔවුන්ගේ ඒ බඩු බාහිරද ලබා ගැනීමට අවකාශය ලබා දුන්නා.
Meanwhile, the district secretary of Gampaha stated that payment of the 5,000 rupee allowance has commenced in the areas where quarantine curfew is imposed. Accordingly, steps have been taken to provide the allowance to 72,345 families in the Minuwangoda, Kuliyapitiya and Veyangoda police divisions under the first phase.
Lever Ayush Karabu Neti Danta Lepaya Shaktimat Datti Palakata